Venus is the second planet away from the Sun with a distance of 0.72 AUs. It is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. Besides the Moon, Venus is the brightest natural object in the sky with a magnitude of -4.6, often reaching maximum brightness shortly before sunrise or after sunset. Due to its brightness, Venus is often referred to as the morning star or the evening star.
Unlike Earth, the temperature of Venus does not vary daily. The average temperature of the planet is 855 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas the surface temperature is 730 degrees Fahrenheit. A day on Venus is longer than its year. Venus is smaller than Earth with a diameter of 7,520 miles. The orbit around the Sun that Venus makes is 67,238,251 miles, and the orbit circumference is 422,465,538 miles. Surface gravity on Venus is approximately 9 times Earth's surface gravity. Venus makes a journey around the Sun in 225 Earth days, while the length of a day lasts 243 Earth days. Due to the lethargic rotation of the planet, the tilt of Venus's axis is 177 to 178 degrees.
Venus rotates clockwise opposite to Earth, which is defined as being retrograde rotation. The liquid magnetic core that Venus has cannot rotate fast enough to generate a large magnetic field, causing Venus to have a low magnetic field.
Venus has an atmosphere composed of about 96% carbon dioxide, and the rest is mainly nitrogen. The atmosphere contains little to no water and appears to be relatively clear until clouds appear about 50 miles above the surface. The pressure of the atmosphere is about 90 times that of Earth at the surface. Venus has an atmosphere that is often hot enough to melt soft metals. It has been stated that there must be an unknown mechanism in which the Venusian's atmosphere is able to trap solar radiation effectively. High-velocity winds in the upper atmosphere below the cloud deck of Venus appear to be relatively stagnant, with only very weak winds blowing at the surface. Convection driven by differential solar heating should raise those winds.
Canyons, volcanoes, lava flows, rifts, valleys, mountains, craters, and plains are all types of geology located on the surface of Venus. Due to the dense atmosphere that Venus has, there are few meteor craters because the atmosphere burns up small meteors. There is no tectonic activity on Venus because there is one single crust plate. Venus is almost a twin of Earth in terms of size, mass, and composition. Like Earth, the crust composing Venus is mostly basalt.
Over 1,600 major volcanoes are known, alongside numerous smaller volcanoes are located on Venus. Most of the volcanoes are classified as large shields, 150, which are much broader and flatter than Earth's volcanoes. These volcanoes look like shields on Earth and are mostly covered by long radial lava flows. Volcanoes on Venus are scattered rather than linear like Earth. Many of the volcanoes are smaller shield volcanoes, possibly over 100,000. Volcanoes usually occur in shield fields or clusters, lowland plains, and lower upland plains. Numerous nova, star-like burst-like pattern faults are located on Venus. Over 50 novas have been mapped near volcanoes on the surface of Venus. 3 constructions of unusual shapes have been discovered as well. Pancake domes are the non-shield volcanoes and lie near corona structures in the lowland plains. Tick-like structures occur in lowland plains, look like pancake domes, and are thought to be modified dome features. Fan-shaped and banded flows are quite rare, located in the southern lowland plains, appear to look like most viscous flows on Earth. Large flow features form 3 types of features, including large lava flow fields, lava channels, and large calderas. The large flood-like lava flow fields are much like lava flood basalts on Earth in size and are located near the edges of lowland plains. Long lava channels lie in lava flood fields or other volcanoes. A long lava channel is longer than the Nile River on Earth. Large round oval pits that have a steep wall and very low rims are called large calderas. 86 non-active large calderas have been found.
4 probes from the Soviet Union have landed on Venus, and only one has been able to send information back for a short period of time. Due to the extremely high temperatures and pressure on the surface of Venus, most of the probes were melted and crushed. Venera 7 was launched on December 15, 1970, and measured the temperature of the atmosphere on Venus. Atmosphere and surface data for 15 minutes after the landing was measured on the Venera 8, launched in 1972. October 22, 1975, was when Venera 9 was departed and took the first photograph of the planet's surface. Venera 10 studied rocks on Venus's surface 3 days after the Venera 9 took photos. Fish eye lenses were used by the probes to produce the widest possible view for the local landscape.
A total of 23 missions, both American and Soviet Union, have successfully traveled to Venus out of the 41 that were launched. In 1962, the American probe Mariner 2 flew past Venus at 21,748 miles. It discovered Venus's retrograde rotation. The Soviets landed Venera 7 on the surface of Venus in 1970 using a parachute, making it the first automatic vehicle ever placed on the planet. After the landing, 23 minutes later, the Venera sent back data. In 1979, the American Mariner 10 probe took the first ultraviolet photographs, and the Soviets' 1975 Venera 9 and 10 took black and white photographs on the surface. The Pioneer mission was launched on May 20, 1978, and went into orbit on December 4, 1978.
Venus is ultimately moonless. There is a belief that it is moonless because it is relatively closer to the sun than other planets. It is believed that any existing moons would be affected by the sun's gravitational pull. Another theory is that Venus rotates backwards, and on a day, Venus is longer than a year. The sun's gravitational pull made a possible previous moon collapse back into the planet is another belief. Strong evidence suggests that 300 to 500 million years ago, Venus did have moons.
Galileo discovered using his telescope that Venus went through phases similar to our own moon on Earth. The nature of Venus could only explain that Venus is going around the sun and not around Earth.
Venus is named after the goddess of love and beauty, which is the Greek goddess of Aphrodite. The planet is named so because it is the brightest of the planets known to the ancients. The surface features are also named after female figures. It is the brightest object in the sky except for the sun and the moon. Like Mercury, it is thought to be two separate bodies, Eusophoros as the morning star and Hesperus as the evening star, but Greek astronomers knew better. Venus's aberration as the morning star is sometimes called Lucifer. The Babylonians also called the planet Ishtar, after their goddess of womanhood and love.
Interesting facts about Venus are that Venus can become so bright that it can cast shadows. The brightness of the planet ranges from negative 3.8 to negative 4.6 magnitude and is always brighter than the brightest stars in the sky. Another interesting fact about Venus is that people used to think it was tropical before it was studied. Until the Americans and the Soviets sent up their first spacecraft, science fiction writers thought Venus had lush tropical jungle.